And we
What's up,
roll.
everybody? Look at all the people that we have on this podcast. This is great. Also, wear a mask,
Wear a mask. Yep.
please.
And we get it. That's how we getting started, y'all.
Yes, it is.
So, man, I don't know even know what to say. We got a bunch of amazing men on this podcast right now.
Absolutely.
I know my words aren't going to do it justice. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves in a minute. I just want to say, shout outs to Chip Baker,
Yes.
my guy,
Absolutely.
returning.
Yes, sir.
I mean, this is, and I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even gassing you up right now, but I do want to say that you are one of the most amazing men I've ever come across. I do, even though we're not in the same space, I do look at you as almost like a big brother. I learn a lot from you, even from a distance. You know what I'm saying? And so thank you for putting this together. We're going to go into the book in a minute, and I really want to dig into that. But first and foremost, let's get it going. Chip, introduce yourself, and then we're going to go around. I want everybody to introduce themselves and what they got going on. We got time, and I want to give you guys your time, too. So, Chip, go ahead and get us started, man.
Yes, sir. Well, first, I just want to say, thanks for the kind words and the sentiments and the support. Not only are you saying that, but you've proven that by your actions, and following and like a like and a comment and a share is everything, and I see that, and I'm truly grateful for that, because you don't have to take the time to do that. And so, same to you, really appreciate all that you do and how you do what you do. And so I'm so thankful that you have us on to discuss our upcoming project. I'm really excited about it. And I'll just kind of tell you a little bit about who I am. Chip Baker. I'm a fourth generation educator, teacher, former coach, blessed and fortunate to be raised by some great people, be around some awesome folks in my life to learn from in my career. And I have the Success Chronicles, where I interview people from all walks of life and just share their stories for positive inspiration and motivation. And so, the project that we have coming up, the book, is The Impact of Influence. And, it's 17 powerful men that really just, write about, their stories, someone or something that has impacted them in their life, made a difference in their life, what they've learned from it, and then how they're using it to make our world a better place. And so, I just want to say a little bit about that, but just every one of the men are amazing men, and they made a positive difference in my life. And I'm truly grateful that they, entrusted me, like reached out to the guys like, hey, doing this project, some guys didn't even let me finish what I was saying, like, done, let's go. Right. Like, oh, let's do it. Let's get it. Right.
Hey,
And
go get it.
That's the right way to do it.
Get it, baby. And every time we talk, we're just excited about it, because I think we know that the difference it's going to make on the world, and continue to grow and build and relationships. So that's enough about me, because I really want everybody to really just hear from these powerful men, hear about their stories, and let everybody go follow my guys. So thank you.
Yeah. No. Thank you. So
Beautiful.
Yep. Let's go around. I guess I'm just gonna start picking. I'll just go through. We got the Zoom top. Mr. Brian up top there. What's going on, sir?
Well, good evening, fellas. Thank you for having me on this platform. Again, thank you, Chip, for allowing me to be a part of such an awesome experience. This is new territory for me, but Chip pushed me and said, you have something inside of you that the world needs to hear. But I'm Brian Glenn, born and raised in Houston, Texas. Houston is my home. I am a pastor, life coach, family marriage therapist. That's what my heart is, family, because I believe strong families produce strong communities produce strong schools. And so I believe in the family. I believe in this project. It's transitioning me to move into an arena that I haven't been in before. So again, it's new territory that I'm excited about because not only has he pushed me into this, I've had a book that I've been writing on the shelf for quite some time now. Get Up is Not Over. And so now I'm ready to dive into it because of this. But again, thank you so much Chip let me be a part of an awesome experience with all these awesome men that I'm now connecting with on Facebook and watching them on their platform. And believe it or not, I'm growing and getting ideas so that when I do step out, I'll know, kind of have an idea of what I'm doing.
There you
So
go.
thank you.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Amen. Thank you. There we go. Moving on, Mr. Charles. What's going on up there, sir?
All right. How's it going, gentlemen?
We good. Yep.
All good.
Good.
I want to thank
Awesome.
I want to thank Chip Baker for putting me on this, man. Me and Chip go back quite a while. We taught at the same school, Conroe High School. We taught in special services where we helped a lot of scholars closely in that department, but we also coached together too. So we spent a lot of time together, and I'm always there to support Chip. Chip's always been there to support me, and this is just another step in our journey in life together. So really excited about this. This is my first venture in writing a book as well. Never thought I would be doing anything like this, and I look forward to many more, man. I look forward to this. I really enjoyed this piece. I'm really enjoying connecting with more fine gentlemen as well. But like I said, I'm in education. I started as a teacher coach, and then I moved to an assistant principal in high school. All my educational career teaching has been in high school. Then about 4 years ago, took a job at an intermediate school, Klein Intermediate and Klein ISD, great district. I am a building principal from grade levels of 6 through 8. It's a challenge, but I love it. I love supporting kids. I'm in it for kids. I believe influence is right on time. This book is right on time because we are the influence of our youth, our young scholars of the world in the future. So that's a little bit about me. I like to use a little bit of my trials and tribulations and add it to what we're giving our youth every day. But that's a little bit about me, man. That's all I've got.
Appreciate it. I know how it is.
Tough Woods.
That's what all right, let me see. Going down. We know David. We got David. Mr.
Oh, what's up? What's up, y'all? My name is David 2K. Musician, podcaster. What else do I do? Acting, writing. No, I'm just playing. People already know me. But I'm very happy to be here on this podcast, especially today with all these wonderful men, and I'm excited to hear your stories.
Yep. All right, keep it going. Mr. Victor, what's going on? Let us know what's going on.
I'll tell you what's going on is I'm humbled. I mean, what an incredible group of people to be part of tonight. And, just outside the book, I'm talking about right here, listening to stories and hearing about people. So I'm Victor Pisano. I have a company called Charge Up, where I deal with student athletes and work with them on leadership skills, letting them know that leadership is a gift. It's a privilege. More importantly, it's an obligation that each of them have within as they grow through that process to pay it forward. I'm big on gratitude. It's the easiest way to pay something forward is through gratitude. As a leader, as a student athlete, you've been given something, now share it. Chip and I, blessed to meet this man at John Gordon. And I learned right away that there's LinkedIn and there's Chiped'In. And influence.
Yeah.
Dropping gems.
You don't need LinkedIn because this man is the epitome of networking, but with the right people. You're not just clicking on people. He is telling you exactly who is you and who's like you and who can motivate you and inspire you. And he's never let me down. So to be a part of this project and to share what I consider is a gift of mine, and to do it with Chip, I mean, I'm privileged. I'm humbled, especially with these other men. This is a phenomenal opportunity. Phenomenal.
Thank you. I'm glad you were part of it. And I'm writing that down. Chiped'In.
That's gonna come back.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Y'all don't know.
Exactly.
Yep. Oh man.
Hashtag.
Yep.
Hey, hashtag Chiped'In.
Yeah, that's gonna stick.
Chiped'In.
It's gonna stick.
Yep. Chiped'In. Oh man. Mr. Derek, how you doing, sir? What's going on?
Hey man. Oh, I just
Lots to talk about. That's just how deep this is. Chip talks about when somebody calls you and asks you to come into something, he said before they even knew what it was, the answer was yes. Well, that's the life that you should be living. That's the move. When you see my name pop up on your phone, I want the response to be, oh, here we go, it's DP. I'm an Arlington, Virginia kid just outside of DC, son of a queen. I found out in my 55th year life that my mother's real name was Queen Elizabeth. And once you get that transition and change, to find out that I need to carry myself as such. I was an athlete. I was a troublemaker as a kid. I was a bad single man, and I was as bad as they come. This is how that was. But I say I made mistakes so that the people that follow me don't have to make those same mistakes.
Yeah.
Amen.
So I'm now through this mission that I've developed my own study program that I give out. And for anybody that sees this, reach out. I'll give you the study program. I'll tell you what it is. As a coach, I decided to lead from love and to give people things that I needed when I was a student athlete. And it's all the things that nobody taught you how to study. They tell you to study, they tell you, but to tell you how. And most of it, the grand excuse that most people get for not getting anything done in life, especially academics, whether it's in life as a grown-up or as a kid, is I do not have the time. Well, what we figured out is that the 4.0 and the 2.0 have the same amount of time. They have the same 24 hours, 7 days a week, 168 hours. And if you show them that they have the same time as the other person, you remove the excuse. Now I'll give you a plan for what to do with it. Tell me what you do with your 168. And what they will tell you is who they are, because they can't wait to tell you who they are. They want somebody to ask, pay attention, and then check up on. That's what they need from us, to show up again. And a funny thing happened, and I coach in Arlington, Virginia, Fairfax, Salt Lake City, Utah, Houston, Texas, all over the country, Charlotte, North Carolina. In each of those places, I coached 3 sports at the high school level: football, baseball, basketball. And a universal thing happened, is that the people that committed to doing this study program, we didn't create student athletes. What we created were scholar athletes. We set a mission of 3.5 GPA for everybody that plays ball for me. And they know that coming in the door. So the standard is set, the GPS is set. The GPS is set academically for 3.5. Of all the guys that played for me in all of those states, 78% of them carried a 3.5 GPA or higher. Here's the kicker, that once you get them to commit to being a part of a group that's setting a higher standard, we also conveniently won 78% of our games in all 3 of those sports, and all of those, because the commitment was to each other and themselves. We set them off in the community to do better by the people involved. And then here's the other thing. It's a blessing for me to be here with y'all, because I wasn't supposed to be here, except for I was. See, I was supposed to be gone. I had 27 blood clots 3 years ago after spinal fusion surgery. Chaplain on my bedside talking to me, you okay? We good? I used to say that I've lived a full life, that if God took me tomorrow, I'd be okay. I've lived 100 good lives, except for on that day, I asked God for 1 more day. And then I said, I have to be true to that. So I'm going to live each day as though I promised that if I lived 1 more day, I was going to love everybody. Everybody I come in contact with will leave more love than when I found you. Each thing will be more love than when I found you. And I do sports talk in Lincoln, Nebraska. I've done it all over the country. I've been blessed and honored to find my actual family. I learned my real last name 2 years ago. All of this would had I left this planet and left this plane, I would have not met you. I would not have known my name. I would not have created this project. I've had 2 TED Talks in the last 2 years. 2. That's not the norm.
Wow.
I'm here for a reason, and I'm thankful. I'm blessed. I'm grateful that I get to sit when Chip says, hey, DP, I need you, before he can tell me why, the answer is yes, because of who he is and what we are doing. And what we decide to do after this. See, the world doesn't know that there's an accumulation of power, wealth, and love just on this Zoom call. We're about to set it on fire, because this many great men cannot create a bad situation.
Absolutely.
Can't say it.
Hey, can I add something to that? And it's just one word, and that word is boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Let's go.
There he is.
Get it.
Yeah, baby.
Let's go. Keep it going. Mr. Brett, man, what's going on?
Right on, fellas. Well, it is an absolute honor to be here tonight. David and Kenneth, thank you so much for having me, and great to see the fellas that I'm getting acquainted with on what seems to be a daily basis, not only in social media land, but here on doing the Zoom calls and doing some of these things together collaboratively. So I'm so blessed and so honored to be here with everybody tonight. So I'm a Denver, Colorado guy. Not born in Denver, but born in Memphis, Tennessee. So I've got some of those Southern roots, and married to the love of my life for 12 years. We've got 2 beautiful children. I am coming up on year 15, actually just finished year 15 as a football coach, as a quarterback coach, year 8 as a teacher. And so really living out that call that God placed on my heart to not only impact, but to steward, to serve, to be really a source of strength and substance and life-giving encouragement for all that I come in contact with. And it's funny, last Friday, I was watching a show with my daughter. It's called Victorious on Disney. And it's a really quick story, but I won't go too far into it. The premise of the episode was to say yes. And so I brought exactly everything, Chris, everything. And so I brought that into the classroom on Friday, and I said, okay, guys and gals, here's the challenge: to say yes to something in your lives. And I basically called it forward for them and said, okay, there's going to be something this weekend that is going to not only change your life, but somebody else's, that you can say yes to. And so today, we had a distance day of learning. And so I got all these emails and videos of Mr. Gusmus, this was so wonderful. And here's my say yes. I went out and served to help my mom give out masks to folks downtown Denver. I gave somebody a ride. And so saying yes was really a theme that was really easy when Chip Baker called and asked me to be a part of this. And living, as Derek said, to a certain degree, living what for myself is 2 separate lives. My life before being called to something different that I could not create on my own. And then the life I live now, which sees me in front of a screen, meeting new people, and a fellowship growing up around me of amazing men that are making a difference in the world. And so those are the things that were my desire. And I couldn't make those happen on my own accord. And now getting out of the way, doing the work that is required of me, and then pouring my heart out every day, pouring my passion out to kids, to my family, to my colleagues, to everybody that I come in contact with. And that's what, I mean, so that was, I don't think there's anything better or more satisfying or more purposely satisfying than when you're doing what you were made to do. And so I think I'm sitting here with you guys, a group of men, obviously the men who couldn't be here today, but they're doing what they're made to do. And so Chip, I just want to thank you for letting me be a part of it. And fellas, I look so forward to meeting you in person, going further on this journey and impacting lives in a radically positive manner. So thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Thank
you. Yep. This is wonderful, man. And keep it going. To Darius Bradley down there. What's going on, man?
What's up, bro?
Hey, man, blessings and gratitude, guys. I'm sitting here listening, and I'm truly passionate about life. My brother Chip will, vouch for me on that, guys. I'm sitting here listening to all of the collectives, right? And my heart is racing. I'm talking, man, if you can feel my chest right now, it's racing because I'm so overwhelmed with excitement. But thank you, Kenneth, David, for sharing your platform. I definitely truly want to express my gratitude to my brother Chip Baker. Gratitude truly goes well beyond verbal expression, man. I'm originally from New Orleans. I'm now living here in Fresno, Texas. That's right outside of Houston and Sugar Land, Texas, man. I'm a father of three, husband of 24 years to my beyond beautiful wife, Desiree. We have three phenomenal kids, our oldest being Darius Jr., our middle, second child, my daughter, my princess, my only little girl, Deonce, and my baby boy, Daniel. We call him Bubba. I'll get into that in a second. I'm the owner, CEO and owner of Full Ability. That is a differently abled apparel company and our foundation. I'm also the CEO of Full Ability Cinematics. That's a production company. I do voiceovers, make music for videos and all this good stuff, student athletes, corporations, you name it. I'm also a motivational speaker and life coach. It's titled motivational speaker, but I truly believe myself to be a righteous mailman for God. Okay. I know the title.
Amen,
Everything needs a
amen,
title.
amen.
Absolutely, man. I just want to be of service. That is my whole purpose of being here. I heard Mr. Derek express that earlier, and then Britt jump and echo the same thing about taking advantage of the days that we have here on this earth. No one knows the amount of tomorrows that remains for any of us. And I speak passionately about that. And I live my life every day as if it were my very last second. Okay. I have a little girl. You heard me say I'm the owner of Full Ability, differently abled apparel company. I'm a major advocate in our differently abled community. My wife and I, our daughter was born with a very rare syndrome, over 27 different diagnoses. Deonce was born with a syndrome named Charcot-Levin, and it's a skeletal deformity. And in our daughter's case, it was so severe that it caused discrepancy to her respiratory. So she's on life support. She's unable to breathe on her own. Okay, most kids in her situation with the severity of the syndrome never made it past the age of 2, but by the grace of God, and I say that, man, who with every breath inside of me, by the grace of God, our little girl is 13 years old. Man, and I tell you, I look at life totally different. You know, I see her fighting to do what my wife and I and our kids and so many others do naturally. She's trying to breathe on her own. She's trying to live the best life that she can. And that's the reason we named our company Full Ability, because like herself and so many others, she's living her life to its full ability each and every day. No complaints. And she have every reason to complain. But she lives life with a big smile on her face each and every day. My platform, Go Get It, encouragement. My brother Chip and I shared those 3 words. And I tell you what, man, it's like the transformer. Like, you know, when you connect us together, oh my God, man, we alter into something, man, that's just ineffable, right? You know, so I use my platform of Go Get It as my little girl is utilizing that life support machine. When we disconnect her to change her clothing or anything like that, the air is just pumping out of this thing, pumping out of this thing. And when you reconnect Deonce back to her machine, you see the life go right through her, man. Her eyes are open wide. The smile is on her face. And I mean, you can just see life all in her, all over her, you know, everywhere. And so my words of encouragement, I'm like doing mouth to mouth resuscitation. I'm very passionate when I speak, and I mean every word that I say, because when I speak like that machine, I'm trying to breathe life back into the areas that are trying to die off, okay, in your life at this very moment, whatever it is that you're going through. I take nothing for granted. So to be here with my brother Chip and all of the other brothers of influence, man, this is the most beautiful moment, okay, that anyone can experience, because right now, at this very moment, we're all a breathing apparatus for each other. As I speak, I'm breathing life into you. As you guys speak, you're breathing life into me. And as we speak as a collective, okay, we are resuscitating all whom are tuning in to this at this very moment. Oh,
Absolutely.
it's energy. It doesn't matter how close or how far we are away from each other. It's the words, it's the energy, it's the feeling that we are giving off from the reciprocity that we are extending from the service that we was once being served, that we're able to be of service to right now for individuals, families, whomever, and not taking anything for granted. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter who you are. Only thing matters is that you find your gift, which has been placed inside of you from our Heavenly Father. You find it, dissect your pain, dig inside of there. You'll find that gift. And once you find it, you pull it out and you share it with the world. And when you share that very gift, you become the very gift that was given to you. And so, man, I live life each and every day with a go-get-it attitude, knowing that no matter the degree of the challenges, no matter the turbulence that we're experiencing, the turbulence is not there to make us land our plane, but indeed that turbulence that we are experiencing is there to enable us to become better pilots. So my brother Chip, I love you, man, unconditionally. All of my brothers of influence that we're sharing this platform with each other, I love you all unconditionally, and many blessings upon each and every one of you and everyone that's tuning in. Go get it. God bless.
Yeah, man, go get it. Thank you.
Let's go. I told you, man. I told you it's gonna be powerful.
It's gonna be powerful, man. Man, I'm gonna get through the intros, and I got something to say about this. But Mr. Chris Holmes, man, what's going on, brother? Man, I'm loving this right now. I just yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and start off and say every day is great when you start off with a smile. So that's a great way to start your day.
Absolutely.
Yes. So it's a pleasure being on the platform. Of course, great appreciation to Chip, David, and everybody else and the rest of the brothers. Every day is a blessing to live and have another 24 hours to do something great. Okay. So a little bit about me. Of course, Chris Holmes. As you set up podcaster, but also an author, speaker, and I have a production company with photo, video, and much more to service, help people capture a dream or make a dream reality. It's all about helping you live your life. That dream, let's make it to reality so you can walk into it and have other people inspired. So with everybody giving great encouragement words, I'm just going to follow along with the spirit. What I want to say is just remember that you are the answer. That's a little bit of what I talked about in my chapter, but I want to go even deeper into that because I feel like a lot of times, especially in the times of when we get challenged, we face so many walls and obstacles, we forget how much powerful that we are. You never know who is watching your story, who is looking for you to continue. Even when you are at times when you are down, you think that this darkness is going over you and you may not get over that lump sum, but it's this consistency to never give up and keep thriving forward that encourages everybody else, because you are needed. Your story is needed. You are a motivation of your great father, mother, and so much more, an impact. And I strongly believe that everybody has a story that needs to be told. Through my journey of life, from experience from college and much more, I've met a lot of great people, and just hearing other great people's stories, and it's a lot of encouraging. And it's never just to be grateful for all of the thing that you have. And I think it's a wake-up call when you don't notice how much so big something is until it's gone. Like from the greatness of just life in your hands, water, electricity, and much more. I think a lot of times we take it for granted. But when you come to that point where you take a great opportunity and grateful for so much of these little things, that makes you that well of a better of a person, especially when you go out into the world. We all can be a great vessel of a great message of somebody to answer those questions, because as we innovate and continue to progress as society and mankind, we all need each other at the end of the day. No person can walk this world alone. We all had help from our mother, father, coaches, teachers, pastors, and much more. We all come into this world collectively to help each other grow. And we got to remember that we have a purpose and we are the answers to help each other. And like these brothers that's on this video, thrive to the success, thrive to be something bigger and be an impact. And to most importantly, go get it, in the words of Chip Baker, to leave an impact.
Yes, I love it.
Yep.
Oh, get it.
So I'm gonna try to set this up last but not least. There's a brother I think I follow on Instagram and I love his name. Mr. Me Too. Like,
what's going on?
At some point, I wanted to get the origins of that because I've seen it and I'm like, I just love it. I thought it was dope. You know, I love it. I'm not gonna do your name justice. I don't want to wreck it, but let everybody know what's going on, fam. I'm here for it.
All right, man. I appreciate it. First, I want to say thank you, Kenneth, and thank you, David, for allowing us to utilize your platform to talk about this amazing book, The Impact, The Influence. I also have to say and give a huge shout out to my brother from another mother, Chip Baker. You know, words can't describe or explain how I've grown to love this brother. And I think it's been about 2 years now. And the things that he's been able to do and the people that he's been able to connect me with, the bond that we've built, and it all started over social media platforms. Yeah. And I met him for the first time in person last year at a conference in February, and I pinched him and said, man, Chip Baker is real. Because I had only known him on IG and LinkedIn, and I pinched him, and I kept pinching him because I had him for a couple of days. I'm like, man, Chip, you real. Love it. I'm like, man, you love here. It. And so, man, he's a phenomenal man. And I'm very appreciative of having this opportunity to connect and grow and learn and love. I have 16 new brothers, and I'm always looking to expand my family, especially a family that's trying to create impact and move the needle forward. Our country, our communities are suffering greatly. And so it takes, I can't do it by myself. I can do a great work, but we together, the 17, the greater works that we can perform. And that's what this book is gonna do. My name is Jamal. I know you've seen the extra E's and the R. It's Jamal, Mr. Me Too Sylvester. I currently live in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm a former professional athlete, ex-knucklehead, not X, EX. I'm an ex-knucklehead, so I have a knucklehead annoying. So knuckleheads attracted me. And I know that, and I've taken on that, and I walk in that. I'm also a certified youth specialist, life coach, but more importantly, man, thanks to my brother, I can now say that I'm an author. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I have a book also that's been on the shelf for a while. I allowed COVID and other things. You know, COVID got a mean left hook, man, and it knocked me out. You know, I thought I could take a punch, but COVID rocked me. But my brother, I'm gonna say that again. My brother stood me back up and said, "Hey, man, come on, be a part of this project with me, man, and I want you to share." And so my chapter in the book is talking about don't let your past determine your future, where I talk about I've somehow in my failure learned how to, I perfected the art of bouncing, not back, I bounce forward.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, the definition of resiliency, typically for the majority of my life, everybody would always say, man, that's somebody who knows how to bounce back. I said, well, if I just bounce back, then I just bounce back to the thing that knocked me down. At some point, when do I learn from whatever knocked me down? And so I said, you know what, I'm changing that. Today, I'm changing that definition, and it's probably been about 6 years now. And so my definition is the ability to bounce forward. And so what I want to do is, and where my part in the book, and also with the work that I do is, man, teach people about overcoming fear and obstacles. And the way that you do that is you find your why. I have a saying, my why, and I capitalize my why, and then I got the greater than sign, and then my why not is real love. My why is greater than my why not. And as long as my why is greater than my why not, no matter what the obstacle is, for me, when I realized what my why was, who, what, when, where, and how didn't matter because I know why.
Yeah.
And so I'm thankful to be here tonight. I can't wait to get into telling the story about the Me Too because it does have something to it. But I just want to thank you, brothers, again. Thank you again, Chip, man, from the bottom of my heart, man, and the depths of my soul, man. I appreciate you, bro, for real.
I got you.
Yeah.
Man, real quick, I just want to say, like, the love here is so real. Like, I could just, like, this is on Zoom, but I feel like we're in person, just like at a round table, like showing love to everybody.
Yeah. Man.
It's the fellowship.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's it, Chris.
It was important for me to do that. And I don't care how long it took. I wanted everybody to share because look what we just did right here. You know, to be honest, and I'm being real, I don't care, man. And I'm almost in tears right now. You know, this brings me back to a moment. I was like 2021. I was just getting started in my career. I had a man tell me, he said, I'm going to tell you right now, brother, the hardest thing you're going to do in your life is bring men together. And I took it as a challenge. I said, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. We're going to make this happen. So when I get moments like this, it fills me, like, for real. It's like almost overwhelming. Yeah. Because we're proving that man wrong. And this was a man I looked up to. He was a very bright man, but I'm proving that wrong. And honestly, and I know look, Chip, you go hear it all night. I don't care, man. But you embody what that was. You know, we crushing that. No, that's not true. Yeah. So this is why it's so important. You know, Chip, you live this, you bringing us all together. Chiped'In, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a real thing. I wanted to share, and anybody watching and listening, don't let anybody tell you that men can't come together. And if you're looking and listening right now, it's all men. You know, we from everywhere, all different races, you know, men at this point, you know, and look at the power that we've brought right here. We ain't even talked about the book yet. You know,
all we've done is intro.
We just said who we were, what's going on, and
powerful.
Absolutely.
And so I wanted to say that, and again, Chip, thank you, because you are, you know, the conduit, you know, to bringing people together, and the example. Like I said, I'm learned from that example. I ain't gonna lie, I see it, and I'm trying to do some of that too. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
let's get it.
Look at the results. Look at the fruit.
Well, you know, just hearing you say that, man, and just again, just the gratitude, you know, from my end. You know, there's two things that that I'd like to just comment on that, man. I think first, you know, my thing for me, I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm a very fortunate guy, right? Throughout my life, I've been blessed to be, like I said, around some amazing people, to have some great relationships with some great folks to learn from. And I look at it as me being blessed to be a blessing.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I strive to do on my day-to-day walk. Like, I know that. And then the second component is, man, I learned a long time ago in my life that it ain't about me. Right. And so I think the sooner that we can learn in life that it's bigger than us.
Yeah.
Right. Because if we just go about our life just doing things just for us, like when it gets tough and it's difficult, we'll quit. Right. Because it's just about us. But like, if we put it in the proper perspective and understand it ain't about me. Like, it's about what I can do to be a blessing to others, because it's bigger than me. And so what that makes for me, like, I can't have bad days. I can't give up. I can't quit, because I got people depending on me. And if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then the people that I love and care about don't eat. And that's unacceptable, right? Like, we can't let that happen, right? And so I think all of the men that's involved in this project, I feel are of the same mold, right? And you heard those guys talk about, you know, their stories and, you know, the things they've done. I think, you know, all of us have had some struggles that we've used to turn into our strength, right? And now it's our superpower.
Wow.
Come on. right? I think, all of us are blessed to be a blessing. All of us are grateful and humble and hungry, right? Every guy that's a part of the book, man, it's like they gave their intros, but I'm just gonna tell you, like, I have so much admiration and respect for every one of these dudes that the intros don't even do them justice, man. Like every one of these guys, like, man, like it gives me chills just saying that. Like I know the things and the power that they bring and their families and their stories and what they've experienced, what they've grown through. And man, it's just so powerful. And I'm excited for the world to get some of it. I can't wait.
Man.
All right. So
like I said, the love is real.
The love is real.
Yes.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, Joseph calling.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep. And if anybody's reading, watching, don't know, if you know the story of Joseph, y'all gotta check that out, and we can probably finish on that later. For real though. So now, one of the fruits of all of this is the book.
Yeah.
And so if y'all don't know, man, the impact of influence, like this is one of, so I've been curious to know, Chip, how did this come about? Like when I first saw the title, when I saw you post it, I said, "Ooh, okay, I like that." So I've been curious for a minute, like, what got you there to the point where, like, where did that concept come from?
Well, man, our life moves at the speed of our relationships, right?
Yeah.
And so, the relationships that we have in our life impact us in an amazing way, right? Which brings about influence in our lives, which allows us to share that with others and impact and influence others in a positive way. And it all starts with having amazing relationships. And so for me, that's kind of where it all stemmed from. The idea was brought to me from a guy I want to mention, Sugar Ray Destin, at the Business of Books Mastermind, amazing guy. He was like, kind of like you said too, Kenneth, like, man, like he supports and follows, have been doing it for a long time. And he's like, man, you're around some amazing people and got some great relationships. You ever thought about like you already highlight people, and show love. Do you ever thought about bringing some of those people together and doing a book with it? I was like, that is a great idea. That is a really good idea. And so, from there, and these guys don't even know this, but I'm gonna tell this story. So I got that call and I talked with him. I was at lunch with my family, so I really didn't get to just really process much of it. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. So I'm at lunch and my wife with my son, they're excited about it. So I'm texting like all of these guys, or like, hey, I got this. And, well, he sent me the cover in like a few minutes. Like, here's the possible cover, right? So I'm like, oh, let's go. So like I sent it to them guys and it was the same thing. Like, oh, let's go. And like I said, and like the authors, all that stuff was put together in like a week and a half.
Wow. That's
like they don't even know that. Like we put it together in like a week, and it was like, because it was that easy. Like I said, a lot of the guys didn't even let me finish. Like they started like, yeah, let's do it. Like let's go. Bet. Yeah, let's go. And so that's kind of where it all stemmed from. And again, I'll just say this again, like every one of the guys have impacted me in a positive way. With the relationships, I've been blessed. I'm so fortunate to have these guys in my life. And man, it's nothing for me. I respect these men so much that it's nothing for me to do whatever I can do to go above and beyond to promote these guys, because I wholeheartedly, with everything I got, believe in what they do. And that's what it's about, for me. And I think the beauty of it is, like, I'm so happy that there's, a few of the men in the book that don't have books.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, I know on the other end of this, what it's going to bring for them. Yeah. Right. and I'm just so honored that I can be along for the ride to just, check it out, and just see, because man, I'm telling you, here we go, guys. Powerful men, right? Just powerful men doing great things. And so that's kind of where it came from.
Okay. Yeah. And me and you kind of share that similar story.
Yes, because we were in the compilation book together. Yeah, that's right.
And so as I was going through that, this kind of brought up those feelings and emotions again. So I wanted to ask the brothers, like, I remember what it was writing. And I remember that first project. And like, I know some of you guys have said too, like, you've written other stuff, you got stuff on the shelf that you just had, and you probably done other stuff. What was it like getting down and really putting together, the words for this project? If it was your first time, because I remember I was all over the place. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think I was editing it till like the minute before it was supposed to be due. Like, I wanted to ask y'all, what was the process like for you all going through this project?
Well, I'll start it off, guys. And once again, I can't start off talking without expressing my gratitude for Brother Chip again, man. As I hear the outpouring of expressions of gratitude, man, you just have to express it one more time, man. So, Brother Chip, man, nothing but love and respect, man, and I appreciate you. But Brother Kenneth, man, to answer that, my heart is still racing. Haven't stopped racing. If I pass out, guys, listen, you already know what the deal is. Man. Brother Darius done passed out from excitement, man. But
we're gonna resuscitate you.
Resuscitate me, man. Resuscitate me. But my journey started off with music. I used to write my music all of the time. I was a performer back in New Orleans. R&B singer, rapper. But I always felt as if I were supposed to be a writer. I can't explain it. I would speak my words better than I would sing them and or rap them. And I felt a different connection. And I just didn't know what to title it as, and when Chip called me and extended the opportunity to be of service as one of the phenomenal co-authors of this phenomenal book, I'm one of those guys who did not give him an opportunity to finish asking what it was that he was calling for, because it's like anything that Chip is a part of, you want to be a part of that, right?
Go get it.
And so go get it, man. And so, Brother Kenneth, to answer that, like yourself, I too was at the very last moment, still crossing T's, dotting I's, and putting exclamation points and periods, man, because the passion for what it is that I've shared within my chapter is truly organic.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm hoping that the audience also feel the pulse that I was feeling when I was writing. I was excited. I was afraid. I was nervous, all in a good way, all righteously. Okay. All righteously, because I didn't want to disappoint my brother Chip. I didn't want to disappoint my wife, my kids, and whomever else is within the chapter, and whomever this is to breathe life into. I did not want them to go without being resuscitated.
Yeah.
So I had to give my all within this chapter, and it's transparency, and a lot of it is what I'm still going through today. Okay, so it's very, very compelling. And I was just overwhelmed with excitement to write this book. My hand was just shaking as I'm writing, man. And I was like, oh my God. God said, son, all of the contrast that you have experienced up to this point, you're now able to be of service to share it as your content. Because that contrast was given to you to go through it. I needed you to be the undeveloped key, the uncut key, and go through it and feel what it's like to be cut up and all of those different angles and shapes, just so you can fit that one lock. And when you turn and open that door, the lives that will walk through not only will be inspired, but forever altered. And that's what I felt, man. from the beginning to the end of that chapter.
Oof. Let the church
Man,
say amen.
hey,
Amen.
ooh, I got a fan, man.
Man.
Yeah. Anyone else? Because I know
Man.
how I feel it. So
I want to go
feels
ahead.
like a whole church service, man.
Well, I'll try to follow that. I'll ride those coattails for just a minute. Thank you so much, Darius, for that powerful word, man, and
Blessings.
that passion and energy that is vibrant, man, is just popping right out of the screen. And so for me, writing has been cathartic because there were many years where thoughts were locked in my head that did a lot of damage, and I believed those thoughts, and that created a shame base in who I was. I couldn't. So athletics was my thing. I was a state champion quarterback. I was drafted by the Houston Astros. I did a lot of great things with those gifts that God gave me, but it was never enough. And that was the message that I always got, that it was never enough. And it wasn't until I came to my knees, I was broken and powerless, that I could say, okay, I'm willing to do it somebody else's way. And so writing for me, especially writing in many areas of my life over the years, has been so cathartic and so powerful, for not only for the power to go away from what I was being attacked in here, but then what the story that came out of it was. And so being a part of this book, I knew exactly what I wanted to write about, exactly what I wanted to write about. And man, I got laser focused on it, and it just went, and it came out because when I actually had to text Chip one more time to say, Chip, what is the prompt now? And I was in my classroom. He texted me right back, like he always does, man. And I'm like, okay. So I started writing it on my whiteboard in the classroom. And I'm like, okay, it's this, it's that, it's this, and it's going to connect to this, and then it's going to go this way. And so it was not only cathartic, but it was something that I hope, because it changed me. This experience changed me. And I don't think our influence can have the impact, or like Paul talks about in Colossians, having the flavor or the salt, or Jesus talks about the salt and the preservatives of who we are, without letting it change us and without letting it transform us. And so this experience transformed me. It brought me from the ugliness that my cylinder can tell me, that I can feel that I'm offended, or I was wronged, or that shame can come up and say, man, you're not good enough. And that whole narrative changed, and I came out of that victorious, and really even steeped deeper and rooted in my why, like Jamal said, and I could be the blessing, because that's what I'm made for. And the world can man, it can jade us if we let it. It can beat us down if we let it. But that's not who I am, and that's not going to happen. And I will continue to be on the potter's wheel, and I will be in the refiner's fire again. There's no doubt about it. But there's some gold coming out of there. I know there is. So it was an awesome experience.
Yeah,
man, love it.
Good job, Brett. Love it.
Anybody else?
One dive in.
It was exciting for me because for first time writer, I was nervous, and but at the same time fire and charged. And I thought, what can I say that will be a word of significance, that will make a difference in people's lives, because it's the impact of influence. And so I thought about the thing that impacted my life the most in high school, being an athlete, a son of a single mother, being raised by my grandparents, being a knucklehead, getting involved in things that I didn't have to get involved in. My football coach, who's a legend here in Texas, he had this thing that he always said, gentlemen, you will not be successful in life unless you live the 4 Ds. And I always thought about that. So my chapter is the 4 Ds: discipline, desire, dedication, and determination. You know, it's the fabric of my life. And how can I share that with other people to impact their lives, to make a difference in their life? And so once I got into it, it became easy because this is what I live now.
Yeah.
I live discipline. I live desire. I live dedication and determination. And so I want to share that now with the world, to make an impact, not just in the lives of young men, but women too, people all over the world. So it was exciting for me to be able to just be a part of this book for the first time, getting my wife involved and our sons, asking them questions. And so I'm excited now and nervous at the same time, just to see how things would turn out and to meet all of these awesome men who are already, doing what I've desired to do. But it woke up something in me. It birthed something out of me that's been in me a long time, and that is to write and to share. And so I'm excited now to be on the platform with all these great gentlemen, to meet them at some point in person. And so I'm just excited. I'm excited to be a part of it and to share with the world what God has placed in me. And thank you again, Kenneth and David and Chip. I'm chipped in.
Chipped in.
Chipped in, got me chipped.
Hashtag chipped in.
Hashtag it. Yo, I just want to say that it's like you guys wrote this book and you guys have done something that not many people get to do in their lives. And there's one thing about making art that since I've left school that I realized. It's not about if everyone understands it. It's about impacting that one person. If one person is able to get something from your book or from what you wrote or what you said or whatever, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's always worth it.
Amen. No doubt.
That's what it's about too.
Amen.
Like everybody in the stories, just like everybody that shared their stories, it's the impact that somebody has had on their life and how they're using it to influence others. And so, everybody, Glenn said, that coach impacted me. Now this is the way I live, with my family, and everybody's story that's in the book, it's how we were impacted and we talk about it. And I think the beauty of it is that, people can learn the lessons that we've learned throughout our life. And now they're ahead of the game. You got 17 people that you can learn those lessons from. 17 powerful people that you can learn. Oh no, wait. 17 impactful, powerful people that's influencing the world that you can learn those lessons from.
Talk that talk.
And so I'm I'm in it and I'm ready to just with the highlighters, notes, I'm ready to dive deep in it and I'm in it.
Yeah.
I feel that.
So man.
Yeah.
Kenneth, David, what's for me, I get goosebumps because for the other men on this call, they had an excitement about writing. Chip knows very well. I didn't. I was 6 months removed from Charge Up. I lost my wife on August 14th of last year. Very unexpected, very quick, very traumatic. And she was, for me, my best friend, but more importantly, she was my compass. And I didn't know how to inspire others because I had no inspiration. And we talk about the kind of person Chip is. I'm going to take it a step further because that man checked in on me every single day at my worst, and he knew I wasn't going to call back. He knew I wasn't going to write back, but he took it upon himself to show his love and to show his support in every possible way. And I was ready to hang it up. And I had my kids talking to me and my kids saying, Dad, Mom would want you to write again. You've done it for so long. You got to do it again. And I said, I can't do it without your mom. I can't do it. And then Chip called. And I thought you know what? Why'd I pick up the phone? Because Chip's called before and I have not picked up the phone. Why would Chip talk to me about writing, which he knows on my bucket list was writing a book.
Oh.
He knows I want to get into this. He knows that Beth had pushed me so hard to do this.
Yeah.
And it created for me therapy that I could not have gotten from anybody else. It gave me a perspective of what hope and faith really is. It opened me up almost to an awakening. I had to rediscover what my priorities were. I had to find what am I about? I had to reframe the narrative and look at what I used to talk about. And I realized I was always talking about moving and moving and moving. And I've learned that like it's the moment. Like the most important time is now, right where our feet are, with this call, with each of your stories, listening. And I'm not waiting for the next story. I'm invested in the story that people are speaking of. In my heart, I'm thinking, how can I be like that? How can I do that? How can I be that excited? And that's what Chip did for me. Is Chip made me take an inventory deep within my heart and my faith of, are you going to stop this journey? Are you going to do it even better in the legacy of which, you know, for me, Beth, my biggest fan.
Yeah.
So y'all talk about, how excited you are to make somebody proud. I can't wait to make her proud. My chapter is dedicated to her. And
Let's go.
That's the impact of influence, is Chip, because Chip never stopped influencing me to find something in my heart. And God put him in my life for a reason. And although I swear every month I tell him that reason, it really came to fruition with that one phone call. So for me, this book is going to sit on my desk with more pride, but more importantly, it is going to be a stepping stone. There's no doubt in my mind for the rest of my life.
Wow, Vic,
Man.
I just, if you don't mind, I want to comment on that. I think, man, it really, just like Vic said, like, he stepped out, on faith with me and trusted, me on that. And, I had a conversation with Woods, the other day about, him doing the same thing. Like, man, it ain't too many people that I just like, probably not a lot at all. And if they call and say, hey, yeah, let's do it. It ain't too many of them, right? And so, like, I don't take that lightly, man. Like you heard, Vic talk about his story, and like for him to just step out and even like do interviews or, write, and like that's a big thing, right? For us to just step out of our comfort zone and, be transparent, and
vulnerable,
vulnerable, and do all of those things. Like it's
utterance,
man,
utterance.
it's hard to do that. But like I said, like Vic knows in his heart, because that's what he does, is he's blessed to be a blessing. Yeah. He knows in his heart that it ain't about him. And so like Vic, like everybody in the book, man, these guys do amazing work to help people. Selfless service, above and beyond. Every one of the guys, like if somebody asks them to help with something, they're gonna go above and beyond to give them more than what they bargaining for. I mean, and the cool thing is, even before we did the book, it's some guys that's in the book that have already connected and have been able to help each other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so like that's what it's about. And I'm just so grateful, man, like grateful for you guys to entrust in me to do that. And like, it means I don't take it lightly at all, not 1 ounce.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, Chip.
Man.
Chipped in, baby. Chipped in.
Chipped in. That's what it is.
Well, I can tell you, Kenneth, real quick, I can tell you, I'm not going to take too much time, man. This was hard. This was hard. This was hard for me. I'm not a person that enjoys writing. I do more of it and more of it every day, because in my role as a building principal, but this was hard for me. Just, doing everything that I do every day, man. I stay busy nonstop, late nights, early mornings. So, when me and Chip kind of talked about this, man, I lifted up the iPhone and started writing in the notes immediately because I don't know when I would have time, just started doodling stuff down. Me and Chip chopped it up about that piece and just, he said, man, I just doodle in my notes section in my iPhone, man, and every chance I get. So I spent a lot of time doing that, but this was a hard thing for me, man. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It took me out of my comfort zone. I never thought I'd be involved in any kind of book writing or anything like that, but I think it's a great opportunity, man. And like I said, I just enjoy being on here with some great gentlemen, man. Just listening to you. I can sit here all night and not say a word and just listen to these stories and just suck it in and just know it'll make me a better man, a better husband to my wife and father to my kids, and just a better servant leader to my staff and my young scholars at school too, man. Like I said, this was hard, but really, really something that I really indulged in and appreciated. And, like everyone said, man, the gratitude that I have for Chip Baker is on a million, Chip. it's on a million, Chipped up, chipped in, baby.
Let's go.
We might just be here all night. You know what? I don't care if we are, because like right now this is all so wonderful. Like, I love hearing all of your stories. I so can't wait to read this book.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited.
Look at one project, a big idea, and look at how it's trickled down, and look at how it's stretched and grown and pushed and pulled. Everyone, like just one concept, we didn't know, but like, you look at something like this, and here we get to this point now, and then it's going to keep going because there's a lot more to come from it. But like, look at the process. I think about things like this when we take on projects, and I know you guys got a lot going on, and you're doing different things, and you're moving around, and then it's like you take this one kind, you have no idea where it's going to take you in life, and how it's going to stretch you, and then the lessons you take here are going to turn into something else, and so we talk about that influence. And it just, that's why I've always been a firm believer that, there's very few that can do this. And it is a blessing. It is a calling.
I want to add on something to that too, and I think I'm gonna speak all for the brothers. Is writing is like therapy. There was like, I just had to say that after listening to all the brothers. I feel like I need to just put that out there, because like when you are writing something, especially to be an impact to others, it's like while you're writing for somebody else, at the same time, it's like a mirror reflection. You're writing for yourself. Like, I know I'm not the only author who was writing during that time and felt like, man, this is very impacting. But at the same time, you're like, I'm talking to myself at the same time. It's like we realize like these words are for certain others, but also it's a reminder of the impact we've done to ourselves and how much of a light we can be. And that's why, like, when I was writing mine, because my thoughts very hit early in the morning. I don't know what it is, but for me, it's like at 4 o'clock in the morning, my brain just, it's like I go to sleep and then all the thoughts come. I literally had to take notes, like Charles was talking about earlier, and just had to put it all out there and just speaking to the phone all that much more. But I really think that writing is therapy, and we have to remember that we are the light. We are the person that's going to make an impact and influence to so many others. And we're in this time where so many people have forgotten that they have so much of an influence to others. So this project is going to be very powerful to remind people, other brothers, mothers, and everybody across the world that they are an impact and that your story does matter. You have a purpose. You have a why. Everybody has a why that keeps them going to move forward over them. And even when we face all this turbulence, challenges, mountains, and much more, those are not to destroy you. It's just that much of a stepping stool to make your story that much impacting and of influence.
Yeah.
Great job.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I need to apologize to Chip, because I'm the other dude. Chip said he needed a chapter. I sent him like 8.
Hey, yeah, he already lined up. He's putting it out there for us. Like, hey, let's go.
The next books.
Yeah, let's go.
I've said it before. My foundation is called Love Prince, and then the idea of life. Rule 1 is what we're doing. It's 3 words, and it's simple and it's powerful. Love out loud. Because the great regret that all of us have is that somebody we loved, cared about, respected, didn't know it. And that's the fear that we have, that somebody would leave our space without knowing. And as coaches, educators, as significant others, parents, the one thing that we have to remind ourselves of is not just to love, but to do it out loud. In coaching, we do it we do it. Sometimes the field is a classroom, so you need to teach them that way. Sometimes in the classroom, sometimes it's in the home. And in writing these stories, I've been writing these stories for a while, but when I met Chip 3 years ago, I had not even considered the idea of doing a TED Talk. I didn't know how. I went through, Chip inspired me to do that, because just in talking, I said, oh, I've got stories to tell. I better learn how to tell them. And I didn't want to be remedial about it. I said, let me go to the toughest thing I can find. What's the toughest story to tell? And everybody said, well, it's TED. It's TED. And you go through the process and they tell you, don't go through this to get a TED. Go through this so that you become a better writer and a better storyteller. You need the friction. And then that friction part of it is what we're supposed to tell. And I said, well, listen, everything that we do, and for me, every time I put pad to pen or finger to laptop, I write love stories. I write love stories. When I talk about my players, they're love stories. It's the friction. When I talk about my second TED Talk, my first one was about one of my teams, and the second one was about a dad I never met, who I never got to talk to. But in that TED, it was the first time ever that my dad's picture, who I didn't know until I was 56, his picture was behind me on the stage that I was given the TED on. It was the first time that I had ever been in a place where my mother's face and my dad's face was there with my face. And I went, whoa. So I had to say thank you to him, even though I never met him, but he was teaching me at age 56. My mother's in heaven. She was teaching me at age 50. She was still teaching me. And if I'm going to tell her story, I better just pour that love on a page or pour it into a story. And I made a history of just writing stories about the people I love, why I love them, the friction that happened either before the love, because of the love, or after the love. And then I sat for a moment at the end of it and celebrated them and applauded and said, ooh, that's what love feels like. That's what it sounds like. Writing for me is simply a love story about the thing or person that I'm talking about. And as long as I live, and when I talk about y'all, it's going to be another love story we tell, right? That listen, y'all don't understand. I was in the room with some grown men who loved each other and they had no fear of it.
Yeah.
That's some powerful, powerful business.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like you saying that, especially the end, like men can love each other.
Absolutely.
No fear of that, and y'all telling stories, Victor telling stories, Chip telling the stories, we all coming together in this. Y'all did that. Y'all doing this, it seems like that was a big part of this process, like, and not only just the love of being able to trust, like each other, this is cool, man. We could really do this. Yeah. I'm just excited. When Has it hit? When is it coming out, Chip?
So we're officially doing it. So right now we're all doing the pre-orders.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys can go on and follow all of the men on their personal social medias, they have their, you know, their online store links where you can go purchase copies from them, autographed copies from them. So, you know, we'd love for you guys to go support those guys, go check them out, support their movements, tell people about their movements because they're all great movements. But we're doing an official launch on March 27th, and then we'll do our we're gonna do our bestseller run on that day as well. You know the process, Ken. You know, we'll do the bestseller run on that March 27th day, and then you know we're looking to have books in hand. You know, right after that, April, and then we're gonna hit the ground running late April, May, June, doing a book tour.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna get out there, get out and about, and you know, sign books, meet people, you know, build on relationships. And the beauty of this too is, I don't know, just the addition versus multiplication kind of, right? You know, one person, you know, like Kenneth, you add value, you know, Charles, you know, Brian, you know, Victor, you know, everybody that's on here adds value to our world.
Yeah.
But when we come together, you know, the value that we add, it multiplies. And that's the impact of influence right there.
Yeah. What I want to say is that, like, what I'm hearing from all of you is that, like, and what I'm understanding is that with vulnerability, there's a certain maturity that you have to be this vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I just very much appreciate all of your stories and just like all the, like I said, like I keep saying, all the love that's like right here on this call right now. And it's amazing. It's amazing that I haven't cried yet. Like, it's everything.
And just to get to the space of vulnerability that these guys are giving, you have to have grown through some things
exactly
to be able to do that. You have to have gone through some stuff and realize that, man, what I've experienced is a purpose for that. Like, it's a purpose for me to share that with others. And I'll just tell you, like, you know, a lot of the guys on here, like really know me, and, you know, we hang like Woods, and really, like, I'm really like an introverted guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think, what you do to success? Like, you do all you talk to people? Like, I'm really like I would really just chill, like to chill, and, you know, it's not about me. I'm making no scene, you know, I'm just chilling in the corner, you know, and I'm okay with that. It may not even say 5 words, but that's how I am. But like my passion allows me to come alive, right? So, you know, like, and so everybody that's a part of this, you know, their passion is coming alive, and they're being vulnerable because they know it's a purpose for it. Like, I just tell you, like I mean, like Vic, like, man, who, Darius, like his story, like his daughter, like they just got back from the hospital with his daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, you just go down the line. You know, all of us, like DP, like he ain't supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like come on, like Woods, like what he grew up with. Like, I mean, like, just, and it goes down the line. Like Britt, you know, some of the things that he's grown through, had to go through. You know, Jamal, his stories. You know, like Chris, like what, you know, the way he was raised, like some of the things that people he was around, the environment, like man, this, like if you would, like, I don't know, we vulnerable. We know that our passion is bigger than us. We're blessed to be a blessing. And so, man, I'm just, again, I go back to it. I'm grateful for it. And I only know that the more that we can be together, David, like this, and express that, and have the more people hear that or see that, the more that we can help others. And Absolutely. It's gonna blow. Yes, Britt. Yeah.
It's gonna multiply.
Yeah, and it's infectious and contagious, right?
Exponentially.
You know?
Hashtag Chiped'In.
Come on.
Hashtag it, man.
Let's go.
And I think of the flip side of that. I think about how many brothers that are out there that have made that ever experienced this and going through things too, but they haven't had the outlets and the mechanisms and things. And so that's why, oh man, just being able to do this.
It's a special thing.
You know, like, and that's the whole goal of this for me. Somebody listening, somebody watching,
right?
Pull from what this is right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and also to know too that, hey, brother, it's possible.
Yeah.
You know,
come on,
it's possible.
Starts with one.
Starts with one.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you, Kenneth, everything starts with gratitude. Like every process, every ailment, every set of adversity, anything you face, if you begin with gratitude in your heart, true and authentic gratitude, you will overcome. And you know, none of us on this call have the ability to lead without that sincere gratitude in our heart, because you can't fake that.
Yeah.
And once people see the real you, and I'm going to use Chip again as the example, once your personality is exposed, once the genuine love you have for others are exposed, you've earned so much trust that just like everyone said, you call and say, hey, I'm thinking about something. I don't care if you're thinking, I'm in.
Done.
Don't even think anymore.
Done.
That's all.
Boom.
From everybody. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is.
I've said this to Chip on privately. He's impacted and influenced my existence. And when he calls, I come running. But I wanted to offer something to him because Chip said on his list of things to do, he's always wanted to give a TED Talk. And I've been granted a mentorship with TED to share how this process worked for me. I told Chip, he includes me in, and his story needs to be told. We all have stories that need to be told.
Yeah.
And at the highest level, Ted did. So I told Chip, look, I'm gonna be sitting next to him, and then one day soon in the next 2 years, when Chip announces that he got offered to Ted because we put our heads together and made it happen, then I can say to him, that's the impact of influence. I'm gonna help because his stories need to be told, and they're gonna be told because they need to be told.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Buy me
Go
a ticket.
get it.
Yeah,
Go
buy
get
me a
it,
ticket.
Chip.
I'll be in that crowd.
And
I'll be there with you, Vic.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm thankful that DP said that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I sent an update to the guys yesterday, or maybe it was today's. So many things happened, but in the message I said this, and I talked to Woods about this a few times, but like really at the end of the day, with so much love that we have, so much experiences that we have, every one of us should be able to go through and be able to hit our goals with the help of all of the men here. So we just have to say, hey, you know, just like, you know, DP, like, what's your goals, Chip? Like, man, I want to do a TED Talk. I want to do this. Well, I can help you with that. You know, but if I don't put that out there and be transparent and vulnerable with the people that, you know, in my circle, then none of that stuff happens. And I'm just going to tell you, that's why I'm so passionate about, you know, some of the things that we're doing in this project, we didn't get to do in the one, you know, that we did.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's some things, man, I'm working really hard to go above and beyond to make sure that if every goal that's on every guy's list that's in this book, man, we about to get it. Right? Like, and it ain't no excuse to not do that. You know what I'm saying? Because we know so many people, we're connected to so many great people. Like, there's so many awesome people, like Kenneth, the same thing. Like, I was like, hey, you know, we're doing this. And I really didn't get a chance to finish. He's like, come on, let's go, you know? And so, you know, like when you do that, and that's what, like, I want people that's watching or listening to see that, like, the beauty, the relationships, putting yourself around quality people, you know, striving to do the best that you can and be the best version of yourself. And I'm just tell you, everybody that's on here, if I didn't really work hard to be the best version of myself, and be humble and be grateful. None of these guys would even, like, man, I don't know, chill, man, I don't know about that good, but and I feel that way about every one of those guys. I think they're great men. Like DP, he's done some TED Talks, they're big business, Brian, 50-11 degrees, he got a lot of degrees, he teaches, but at the core of it, they're good people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's where it starts, right? Like, they're just good people, and man, it's great, man. I'm so excited,
man. Yeah. And to me, this is because it's like you said, people relationships. I always say the power of people, and what it comes back to. And that's why, you're building and growing together. But like you said, at the core, good people,
just good people. That's
good people.
Like down south, man. Hey, man, he good people.
He good people,
he good.
That's the gate opener right there. Oh, we good people. All right, you cool. You can come to the barbecue. Come.
It don't sound right because he is one person and people is plural. Like, he good people, but you know what it means though. Like when you say he good, he good.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. The thing about you vouching for each other, that word, like. Yeah. I trust you, you trust him, so I trust him,
Yes. Absolutely.
Like, and the power of that, So like, yeah, we gotta be good peoples, man. I tell you, I know I can't wait to get to a space where we start getting around each other again for real,
Yes.
Since most of y'all in Texas. So next time I'm in Houston,
yeah.
For sure.
I'm coming for y'all, like
for sure.
Link up, for real, like
right.
We got you. You come on.
Big on that fellowship, these are the things, and also just learning from each other, growing with each other, like let's keep this going. I'm a big person, keep this going. Like I said, you come across me, you family, we family.
Right.
I use that word because that connection, that bond.
Yeah, it's that iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, and sometimes just to be there for each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes we may not have to be doing things for each other, but sometimes we just here, Like I said, I'm big on the little things. Chip do something, I just like button. Hey, that's my man. Hold him down.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's the little things like that to keep it going.
And you ain't just saying that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what, like I said when we started, like man, like you, and you don't even have to do that stuff. But you do, and that's huge.
But that's the power of people. Like sometimes when you see you always say that's your boy, that's your man. That's your people.
Yep.
And if you got good stuff going on, support them.
You got to put it out there.
Support, And sometimes I know everybody says support, they always think money, and a lot of times it's not even about that.
Right. Support could be a share.
A share. Let somebody know what's going on. Hey, I'm gonna bring all these brothers on. We're gonna tell the story. We're gonna promote this book. Little things.
Right.
So, and to me, those are the things that build with each other.
Now I gotta say, this is like it's funny how that works, because when you start sharing others or promoting your brothers much more, naturally, the universe is gonna reward you. So it may not come next week, next month, but just know you're planting your harvest. And it's gonna come. It's gonna surprise you. You're gonna wake up one day and be like, "Where did all this come from?"
And all of the men,
no doubt,
do that. Plant the harvest and not looking to receive anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you go back and say, it's not about you.
Boom.
Come on.
Boom.
Right.
Well, if it's not about you, I'm here for y'all.
Come on.
I'm here for y'all. What y'all got going? I'm doing. Like I said, I like to be a conduit. I'm a hub for that.
Right.
And also I found too, we're living examples. And I know a lot of times we come across so many people, we assume everybody knows this stuff. We assume everybody knows what to do, but they don't. So somebody's got to show them. That's the leadership. That's the influence, Like I said, we're taking all the things we went through, all our lessons, our lives, and now we're packaging them up and being able to present to people and say, hey, we got something for you. You may be able to learn from this, because you may not know. You may not know how. You may have been going through the same thing and don't know how to move and how to manipulate or use it. you know? So sometimes we got to show people how it's done, and it may be through our acts. Sometimes it may just be good people, and we just show that. You know, I always say God comes through us.
Right.
You know, and sometimes you may not have to say a word, but sometimes people will see it.
It can be a simple smile.
Simple smile.
Uplift somebody's day, right? They could have been going through the worst thing, and they saw you smile, and you're like, you know what? Life ain't that bad.
Right.
I call that verbal silence. It's golden.
Yeah.
Say that again, Brian.
Verbal silence is golden.
Yeah.
One of the authors in the book says that his smile is undefeated.
Wow.
I like it.
Come on.
God is
DP.
God tell him. God to tell him. We like to
This
go
smile
in.
is undefeated.
Well, we do
mean,
these camps.
Champ.
Yeah, we do these camps, and there's always some hardhead, right? There's some tough guy in the room who's the leader of the clique. And I was running James Harden's camp down in Houston, and there was a couple of kids that were about 6'8" and buff, and they had to snarl. And I walked up and said, "Listen, man, I hate to tell you this, but you can't beat this smile, man. You can't beat it. Like
There you go.
I said, and if you smart and you pay attention, you recognize that nobody can beat yours either.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for. It's your calling card. It's your business card. It's the thing people see before they know you, and it's the last thing they see once they know you. You better do something with it.
Yeah.
There you go.
No matter how hard the foul.
Right? Right? It's like, oh, that's it? Okay.
Get right back up.
Yep.
Yeah. And sometimes even think about what it does for you. You know, we look at our projection, but sometimes just the smile, just the act and the muscles and all the things you got to go through to smile, and it can change your whole mood. You know, just that power, just that thing right there. You be going through something make you smile, and next thing you know, you like, I'm all right.
We're gonna be all right.
Chip was dead on when he said, when you forget that the things that are most powerful about you aren't for you, they're for somebody else.
Yeah.
I've said 100 times, I can't remember how many days I smiled at somebody, not really thinking about it, and they said thank you.
Yeah.
Because it was the thing they needed to get them out of their bad space. It wasn't for me. You can't see your own smile unless it's purposeful.
Yeah.
Everybody else can see it. It ain't meant for you. It's meant for somebody else to go, okay, you see me, we connected, we good.
Yeah, we good. Yep.
And you know, to add on to that, brother Derek, man, you know, that's so beautifully expressed because, you know, I truly believe the most powerful things that we can do as humans are not physically seen by ourselves. And what I mean by that, just like the smile. And Brother Chip is a prime organic example of that. As I look across the panel, I see so many beautiful structures, solid. But what's holding these structures up is the solidified foundation that Chip is being for each and every one of us. When you go to pick out a home, whether it's a new build or not, you're often looking at the countertops, the windows, the paint, you know, the roof, whatever it is, the driveway, the plants. No one really pays attention to the foundation that's holding that structure up. Yeah. But that is the most vital part of that home, the most vital part of that home. What are you building upon? That will ensure the longevity of the structure that stands upon it. Yeah. And Chip, just like that smile that we can give out but cannot see, that foundation that everyone is walking upon with confidence, sleeping at night in that home with confidence, watching their favorite program, cooking their favorite meal, spending whatever kind of quality time they're spending underneath that roof. It's all being held up by that solidified foundation. And we have 17 structures within this book because of that one solidified foundation that's holding up the 16 others. And we're able to do the same as Chip is doing for us. That smile that brother DP is talking about, and that solidified structure, foundation that brother Chip has been for all of us to build upon. Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Isn't it,
Just
David?
real
If,
quick,
if y'all,
I
if
wanna-
y'all let
Amen.
Darius,
Amen.
if y'all let Darius talk again, I'm gonna give him my chapter. I'm gonna give him my check. I need
you guys talk
like
about
a series of
about the
books.
smile. There's an acronym for the word smile, and it means show me I'm loved every day.
Wow.
I like that.
Man,
Show me I'm loved
that
every
really
day.
hit
That's
me.
the power of it.
Wow,
Mm,
man.
that's powerful.
Man, you can't get this many gems anywhere else, man. I'm telling you, I'm
Nowhere.
foolish to look. I'm just appreciate. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this and listen to this several times just to be
Right.
notes like.
I can't wait to listen back.
Man. And I don't even like listening back to my podcast, so I can't wait.
Right. Can't wait to hear this.
Man, I appreciate y'all so much. As a matter of fact, hold on, I'm not done. Mr. Jamal, I got to get the story for that name. I wasn't going to close. I'm not leaving.
Mr. Me Too.
I got it. I've been so curious for like a minute now because I love it.
So it's no, of course, it's no disrespect to the Me Too movement, but I've been Mr. Me Too for 48 years. It started June 15, 1972, the day I was born. And I've worked in a multitude of spaces. Being a former professional athlete, I worked in corrections. I worked in mental health institutions with adolescent males. I've done college and career readiness work. And in all these different spaces, I worked in adult corrections.
Yeah.
I would always open myself up and be transparent. You know, I know that I'm a leopard or I have spots. I used to try to hide those spots. I didn't realize how much power I had in my spots until I started being vulnerable enough, as we used that word earlier on, to begin to show people my spots. And what I found was people would come up and be like, man, that looked like my spot. That looked like my spot too. And I found myself saying, guess what, me too. And so because I've been doing this for so long, I said, it's only right that I put the Mr. on it. And so Mr. Me Too is, Matt, all of your struggles, while I can empathize with everything that you've gone through. I grew up without my dad. I've been around gangs. I'm originally from the west side of Chicago. So I know what that looked like. I grew up in that. I made it out. But I always say that while I can empathize with your struggle, I'm not going to let you off the hook. Because nothing changes if nothing changes. And so while I can say, man, you know what, man, that's messed up. Your dad wasn't there. Okay, what you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't until I decided to step up and take ownership and be responsible for what I said I wanted. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I had to shift my mindset and say, you know what? It ain't on mama now no more. It's on me. And so I took ownership, man, and hey, guess what? Me too. But now what we gonna do? And I say we.
Yeah.
It's not what you gonna do. It's what we gonna do, because none of us can do any of this by ourselves.
We too. We too.
Yes,
We too.
Yes,
We
We
too.
too. Hey.
Chiped'In and we too, baby.
Yep.
I don't know about y'all. We're gonna have to get a vote because all these gems, we don't need a whole bank.
Right. Man, so many mics have been dropped. Like so many gems. Like, this is beautiful, man.
This is what happens when you get real men together.
Absolutely.
Amen.
You know, that's what this is. Like I said, I go back to that story and I think about that and I'm like, nah, man, we can, there's so much we have inside of us and there's so much we can do together. Like, and we gonna do this, man. Like, I believe that. So, fellas, I know it's probably getting the late hour. We've been going. I know if I allow it, we could probably keep going.
Till the morning time.
Yep. But I'll say this. This platform is for us, you know. So anytime you all are welcome, come back. You got something going on, you need to talk, you need to share about something, hit us up.
Please.
That's what this platform is for. We are all about educating and inspiring, you know. And so, you know, we're gonna do this again at some point. And I say that in all seriousness. Like,
absolutely,
we're gonna link back up, we're gonna do this again, we're gonna keep this going. You know,
Yeah, we need to bring the tour out to the DMV.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Let's do
man.
that. Let's set that up.
Speak it to existence.
Please,
Amen,
yes.
amen. Call it forward.
Yep.
Yeah,
You know, I'll be your tour guide. Come on,
Hey,
Come
done.
on up.
Hey,
Done.
come on.
I may stir it up, but international possibly. I'm just saying.
Let's go.
Anything is
go.
possible. The sky's the limit.
I'm with it, man. Let's keep it. And that's the thing. Like, and so, like I said, we family. You know, we're gonna stay in contact. I'm gonna work with Chip. Me, you know, we gonna make sure we get this out to everybody. We're gonna make sure we get everybody's contact information, and let's keep it flowing. You know, to close this out. I mean, what else can I say? But like, amazing.
Yeah.
And
like,
and the utmost like appreciation for just again being vulnerable, coming on, and just being willing to share.
yeah.
You know, like I feel blessed that again we are being used as a conduit to make that happen. So, you know, thank you. And anything I can do to support. I know Chip, you said everybody's getting signed. They got signed copies of the books coming out.
Yes,
so,
sir.
man, I'm gonna go broke getting everybody a copy. So I gotta get the signed copies from everybody. You know, and also too, again, impact of influence. The book is coming out. Everybody listening and watching, we're gonna share the information for that. Let's get this book. Let's get the bestsellers list. Let's get everything out of it. Let's get it to many people as possible. Because what y'all got was just a piece of everything. I already know.
Right.
If this is what we're talking about here, I already know what's in there. That's gonna be crazy. You know? So we y'all got a little sample for if y'all listening and watching. That was a sample. So I know how many more gems. Look how many gems we just dropped tonight. So I already know what's in there. I can't wait. You know, and so blessings to everyone. Let's keep going.
Absolutely.
You know,
I have the utmost respect for all of you. Like, this has been amazing. I can't wait to see all of you in person one day. We all get to chop it up. I love that we got to chop it up here. And like, I can't wait to do this again.
Yeah, David, we're gonna do our version of the Rock Nation brunch. We're gonna do a brunch, have everybody come out. We're going to do our thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Talk that talk, Kenneth.
Done.
Talk that talk.
You know what? It's gonna be the Black Squirrel brunch.
Black Squirrel.
Done.
Let's get it.
Oh man, we're gonna have fun.
You let us know. June. We on the way.
Hey.
Do it, man.
Got it.
Like for real, and I'm serious about that invitation, man. Let's keep this going. Anything we can do on our side, and even the other things I have going on to help what y'all got going on. You know,
absolutely.
Blessings, man. Thank you.
Blessings.
Thanks so much.
Blessings.
Fellas.
Blessings.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna close it out. Again, y'all can find us communitycoalitionshow.com. You know, listen to the podcast. Check out the YouTube channel. This video is gonna be on the YouTube. I'm gonna let Chip chop it up and do what he do. We're gonna get all the pieces out. We're gonna get, you know, this is gonna be out. But before I close this out, we've been saying it all night. Baker.
We all chipped in.
We all chipped in.
All chipped in.
Like, all right, I'm being vulnerable right now too. And I what else can we say about the man that has? I mean, we can keep going all night. I could do a whole nother show. But if y'all don't believe in the power that one man can have, this is a living example of this right now. You know, look at what has happened here.
Yeah.
Because one man decided that he was going to help some brothers out. He was going to be a living example. He was going to be a conduit. It wasn't about him. He's going to make it happen. He was going to do it. Come on, man. Like, that's what it takes. If a text, a phone call, reaching out, you know, and
even
look where we are right now. So if y'all don't believe in the power of
coming together,
one person said, I'm going to do this. And now we have a whole community of men.
That's what this show is about. Community Coalition Show.
Yep. This is why we created the show.
Absolutely.
created the show for that exact reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got a living example. I'm not going to wait. I'm giving you your flowers right now, Chip.
Thank you, brother. Man,
Thank
you,
so
man.
much. Thank you so much, man.
You know, and like I think we said this last time, you know, we still just kind of getting started.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know?
It's
Like,
crazy.
I know your brain is swirling right now. I already know you got some stuff cooking. So
it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
You know, so until the next time we all do this again, because it will be a next time.
Absolutely.
Chip, I'm already working on your bus for your Hall of Fame. You know, we gonna get that going.
I'm gonna get a picture of you in my office.
Yep.
Go get it.
Go get it, Chip.
Go get it. Throw the fedora in there, like, and then, brothers, each and every one of you, thank you. You know, just for taking the time. You didn't have to be here. You didn't have to do this. You know,
right.
I'm gonna throw this.
Could have been anywhere
for this. You know, but like, thank you for taking the time. I know it's getting late for some. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I know me and Dave, we appreciate that. That's not light. You know, so for real, thank you all so much. I'm closing the show. Don't go anywhere just for a second. But again, for the show, everybody listening, everybody watching, peace, y'all.
Mm-hmm.